artists, welcome to art class. Today we are going to be working on a color wheel lion. So you can see that this color wheel has red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And let's go ahead and find our materials and get started. Alright, so what you're going to need for our project today is you're going to need a waterproof black marker, or if you don't have that, you could use a crayon. You're going to need regular markers, red, yellow, and blue. And you're going to need some things to trace. So you're going to need maybe a plate. I'm using the lid of an ice cream container, and I'm going to need it to go on my paper near the top. And then you're going to need a smaller item to trace. I'm using paint. You could use a cup maybe that you could find at your house. And your paper, if you have a paper that's a little heavier, that will be helpful because we're going to use some water on it. But otherwise, just use whatever white paper you have at home. So we're going to start by taking our large circle, which might be a plate, and we're going to put it almost to the tippy top of our paper, right in the middle. And we are going to trace it with our Sharpie or with your crayon, or whatever you're using. That looks like a pretty good circle. Next, we are going to take our smaller tracing item, and we're going to try to put it right in the middle. If it's not perfect, that's okay, but we're just going to do our best, and we're going to trace it also. You might need someone to hold on to it for you while you trace it, because it can be a little tricky to do both things. And once you've got that, then we're all set for the next part of our project. So our next step is going to be to draw our lion's face. So let's go ahead and give him some ears, which are just upside down U's. And then let's give him some eyes. We're going to make his eyes look like closed eyes. You can make your eyes look however you like. And now we're going to work on his nose. So we'll give him a triangle here. And then we're going to make two slightly angled lines that go up to make his nose. Now I'm going to take the top of my triangle and turn it into an oval. Like that. Give him a mouth, some little dots and whiskers, and there's my lion's face. Now this part might be the hardest part, but I know that you can do it, and if it doesn't look just like mine, that's okay. You're going to make his back, so you're going to start on the right side of your lion, and you're going to curve it down towards the bottom of your paper, like that, and that is his back. And then we're going to go over. This is going to be his foot. And you need to make a little lump for his foot. And then that is like his back leg, right there. Then let's go ahead and we'll draw his front leg by making a curve that goes down to the bottom. And we'll make his foot. And then we're going to go up and down to make his other foot. And we'll go up. And then we'll just angle it back for his belly right there. And now we want to make his tail. If we want to make his tail, we're just going to make it come back up, and we'll go almost up to the circle, curve, and come down around. There, he's looking pretty good. Now what we want to do is we want to add some texture. So in order to add the texture, I'm going to think about wherever my lion is, and I'm going to add some little lines. This just shows that he has fur, and I'm making my lines go in all directions. We're also going to make lines on the outside edge of his face and on his ears. So let's make all of our little lines. I'll fast forward the video, and you can pause it if you need to in order to finish adding the texture for your lion. Alright, that looks good. Our next step is to make this big mane into a color wheel, and our color wheel needs to have 6 sections. So what we're going to do first is we're going to divide this big circle in half. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to make a vertical or an up and down line until I hit my lion's face. Then I'm gonna hop over his face and finish it at the bottom. Now I have 2 halves to my circle. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need to make diagonal lines to divide each of these sections into 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. And now I'm going to make 3 sections on each side. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna make a diagonal line right below his ear. And another one on this side. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna imagine where it's straight across. I'm gonna make another one down here, follow with my marker, hop over his face, and make another one here. If yours aren't completely even or perfect, that's okay. Now our next step is to color in our color wheel. So let's put away our permanent marker, and we won't need our crayons. We're just gonna need our red, yellow, and blue marker. So what we're going to do here is we're gonna start at the top on this side, and we're gonna just color this in all the way red. Now my marker doesn't work very well, but that's okay with this project because we're gonna be using water in a little while. And so if it doesn't work very well, we're gonna be painting with water over that color. So don't even worry about it. The next color we will use is yellow, and I need to skip a spot. So I have red, and I'm going to be putting orange here, making orange, but here's where my yellow goes, down at the bottom. So make sure you skip one, leave one empty, and color the next one in with yellow. Now we will use our blue. We'll skip one again and do blue on the side. Great work. Now we want to make orange, but we want to do it by mixing colors. What 2 colors can we mix to make orange? We can mix red and yellow. We look at the colors that are next to it. Let's start with the lighter color. If we start with the lighter color, then our markers won't get so dirty. So we're gonna color yellow. And if I leave a little white space, that's okay here. Now on top of my yellow, I'm going to color some red. When we paint it with water, it will mix to make orange. How can we make green? Red, orange, yellow, green. We need to use the 2 colors on the side of green, yellow and blue, to make green. So let's start with yellow. And let's add blue on top. Our last color is going to be purple. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. How do I make purple? By mixing red and blue. Let's start with our red. And add blue on top. Alright, for our last step, we are going to need some water and a paintbrush. You don't need to have any paint, just water. And right now what we're going to do is we are going to paint on top of our marker. Last step after that, if you want to, is to color in your background or color in your lion. So I'm going to leave my lion white because I like how he looks, but I'm going to color in my background a little bit with some crayons. So go ahead and do it however you like, and then send me a picture.